Hi, it's the 1830s. You're on a planet called Earth in a country called America. It's the antebellum era, and things are about to get really, really bad in the form of the least civil war in American history. But it's not bad yet. It's actually pretty good, and things are getting better. A bunch of movements and stuff happened during this era, but most of those are stories for another time, so I'm not really going to talk about them. First up, temperance movement. So way back in New England after the Revolution, people started drinking. No, like, drinking a lot. No, like, way more than we drink today. And stronger crap, too. Like rum and whiskey. Whiskey was pretty popular. They kind of fought a rebellion about whiskey a few decades earlier, so they took their whiskey pretty seriously. At first, not a lot of people were behind the whole let's totally ban alcohol thing, so they just tried to control hard liquor. They didn't really care about the wine or beer that was probably cleaner than the local disease-filled water anyway. So the American Temperance Society mostly just asked people to control their drinking habits. Please drink responsibly, said the American Temperance Society, and it worked, for a while at least. But then some guy in Ireland decided to pour all his whiskey out of a window, and suddenly everyone wanted to totally ban hard liquor. A bunch of Catholics started wearing blue ribbons to show that they didn't drink. The trend caught on pretty quickly, and soon all the Protestants started doing it too. Look, we don't drink, said the 4.5 million members of the American Temperance Society. Originally, the society was all about not drinking because God said so. But later, they started pushing for actual laws. And they probably would have gotten away with it too, if it weren't for those meddling Confederates. After the Civil War, basically everyone forgot about temperance. Another big thing was the creation of these great new things called mental hospitals. Before this time, the idea of helping those dastardly lunatics was to chain them up or release them into the wild to fend for themselves. Or they were auctioned off, where they were usually chained up in a dungeon anyway. Eventually, people started thinking that torturing the poor folk wasn't really the best idea. Dang, this is bad, said some of the Quakers, who thought it was bad. Let's help them because God said so, and they're our friends, and we're good people and stuff. So they did, and opened up the York Retreat in 1796. This inspired the opening of a bunch of other hospitals with great names, like the Bloomingdale Asylum for the Insane, the Eastern Lunatic Asylum, and the Asylum for the Relief of Persons Deprived of the Use of Their Reason. At first, they weren't that great, with crazy stuff like mercury pills, boiling hot and ice-cold baths, and tranquilizer chairs, which deprived the brain of blood. But eventually, a nice lady named Dorothea Dix went all around America, founding more hospitals and making things better wherever she went. Well, that is until one of her doctors started touring cross-country in his lobotomobile, shoving ice picks into people's brains, but that's a story for another time. It would still be a while before mental hospitals got great. Another problem in need of the reform treatment was education. Educational opportunities were sparse in southern states, but actually plentiful in the north. But so was poverty, so it kind of balanced itself out. The condition of living was also suffering. Man, said Horace Mann, we should do something about this. So it created the common school system to oppose the abnormal school system, I guess. It specialized in the 3 R's of reading, writing, and arithmetic, spelling not included. He hoped to bring together all citizens and classes of children, except for African Americans and Irish Catholics. Mann was loved by the Whigs because he was modern and hip. No, not those Whigs. Those Whigs. But hated by sectarians for not making the schools sectarian-y enough. Hey, don't leave us out, said women educators Emma Willard, Catherine Beecher, and Mary Leon. They fought hard for women's education. Mann continued to reform, bringing ideas he learned from Prussia. He decided to take away mixed-age classrooms and introduce grades based on ages. He also let kids graduate, and set up schools to teach teachers too. Hi, thanks for sitting through our video. This video is created by Laura Stubbs, Jesse Figueroa, and Taylor Smith for Miss Berkeley's AP US History class. It was inspired by Bill Wurtz's History of Japan and History of the World videos. The script was written by Laura Stubbs, Jesse Figueroa, and Taylor Smith. The research was primarily done by Laura Stubbs. The wonderful animation was done by Taylor Smith, and the voice was done by Jesse Figueroa. Thank you.